Hi, you guys. Welcome back to Meaningful Motivations with Tracy Erickson. And of course, if you are new to this channel, welcome. My name is Tracy Erickson, and in this video, we are going to discuss the spiritual significance of hair. So stay tuned. Each and every one of us actually has a strong connection to our psychic awareness through our hair follicles. So it doesn't matter if you have long hair, short hair, straight hair, curly hair, or no hair. As long as you have hair follicles, this video can tell you a little something about the power of your hair. Every single piece of hair on your body originates from the hair follicle, which is a skin indentation that goes deep below the surface of the skin. So, in the deepest layer of the skin, there is a little bulb where your hair growth actually stems from. And these hair follicles actually have their own nerve, blood, and muscle supply. At the time of your birth, you actually have millions of hair follicles all over your body. And you are born with the exact same amount of hair follicles that you will still have at the time of your death. So the amount of hair follicles that you're born with never changes. It stays the same. Your face and scalp have the most concentrated amount of hair follicles. And that's very interesting, especially from the spiritual perspective, because it is inside of your scalp that you will find the pineal gland, the pituitary gland, and the hypothalamus, which are all important in your psychic communication. It's also interesting to note that it's those muscles and nerves that exist around the bulb of the hair that causes the sensation of goosebumps or that tingly feeling that you get up your spine if it's really cold outside or if energetically you received a very important spiritual message. So you may experience that tingling feeling, but that is because it is kind of like stimulating the hair growth. And in this article that I found in the Mind Journal, it states that many ancient cultures, such as Native Americans and certain indigenous groups, believed in the importance of long hair for intuition and spiritual connection. Some cultures forced enslaved people to cut their hair as a symbol of subjugation. And in an article I found on allure.com, that article states that ancient Greek deities were often depicted with long, flowing hair as a sign of power and divinity, similar to Zeus, Venus, and Apollo. In the Rastafarian faith, long locks are meant to mirror the mane of their leader, the lion, as physical proof of their devotion. For Hindus and Buddhists, long hair can represent beauty and perhaps dangerous sexuality, and cutting or shaving it off is surrendering worldly gifts to fully concentrate on the eternal. Some evangelical Christian women rely on a long sheath of hair to cover their heads in humility, and the Amish believe that the Bible instructs women to grow their hair long and married men to let their beards grow as a way of rising above secular fashion. So your hair is so much more than just a fashion statement that you make to the world. Your hair is literally a connection to your spiritual self. And it can also help you to deepen your intuition and to increase your power. And it's also an extension of your life force energy. In a blog I found on elizabethperu.com, it states that your hair is an extension of your life force. Consider that hair is an extension of your life force, and it's a particularly potent extension, given that your hair follicles extend down into the deeper layers of your skin, where the electrical frequency within your cells is at its most concentrated. This means that your hair becomes a conductor for invisible communication between your spiritual being and the world of matter and form, that being the physical. So our hairs are like little energetic antennas that are sending and receiving information through the energy of the environment that we are in. So this is kind of like the video I created about the aura and how we talked about the subtle energies that surround your physical body. So again, your hair, or the follicles of your hair, actually bring in and transmit different frequencies, based on situations, people, places, and things that you are experiencing. So your hair is literally communicating with the subtle energies within your environment. So each and every hair follicle that you have on your body is the thing that is sending and receiving energy. But the strands of hair that are growing out of the hair follicle are like the antennas. So the longer and more healthy your hair is, it is true that it could have a more far-reaching effect as far as the energy is concerned. But even if you have little or no hair due to illness or even just hereditary baldness, that doesn't mean that you're not sending and receiving information from the world around you, because that is taking place through the follicle and not the hair itself. There is also this spiritual belief that if your hair is left uncut, then it will grow to just the right length for you as an individual. In that Mind's Journal article, it states that the length is determined by the person's unique energy requirements. Cutting hair is believed to hinder the flow of cosmic energy into the body. It also states that allowing hair to grow to its full natural length is thought to invite spiritual, physical, and emotional growth. Long hair is believed to serve as a transmitter and receiver of subtle messages from the cosmos. I also find it kind of interesting that whenever people are going through major life changes, that is usually when they decide that they need to change their hair in some way. So for me personally, when I was a senior in high school, I decided to cut all my hair off. At the time, it was a very popular hairstyle called a pixie cut. But the haircut coming at the time where I was going through this life transition, it just made total sense that I felt the need to just chop all my hair off. Now, another interesting thing though about cutting the hair is that it does give you the sense of a release. So your hair actually stores memories within it, energetically speaking. So technically, when you go and just cut all your hair off, then you're actually releasing and letting go of who you once were. And it's kind of symbolic for beginning again, like having a certain rebirth in your life. If you are desiring long hair and want to grow your hair out, I do have a little advice that I found in the book Moles or Birthmarks and Their Signification to Man and Woman by Maud Wheeler. It was a book originally published in the 1800s, but get this. Within the book it says, most of us have probably been told at some time or another that the hair should be cut before the moon is full, if length is desired, and when the moon is at the full, if thickness is preferred. When the moon is on the wane, it is not considered advisable to cut the hair, as the growth is then supposed to be less favorable. So I found that interesting years ago when I got that book. And I've been cutting my hair after the new moon, but before the full moon, each and every time. So whenever it's time for me to give myself a trim, I always take a look at the moon phases to ensure that I'm going to get the most favorable growth out of the cycle of the moon. Another thing to keep in mind is that it is also a disruption in the natural flow of energy through the hair if the hairs have split ends. So it's important to maintain your hair through either conditioning it or, putting oil in the hair and wrapping it, or you can simply trim those split ends so that you don't have as much disruption to the flow of energy that's taking place. It's also very important to keep your hair both physically and spiritually clean. So, in addition to the physical cleaning, which is shampooing and conditioning your hair, it is also important to remove the negative and unwanted energies in a spiritual way. So one way that I like to do it is to have the Reiki begin to flow through my hands. And you can do this even if you are not attuned to the Reiki energy, because it's all about your intention. So I get the Reiki to flow, and then I just ask that any negative and unwanted energies just be released from the strands of my hair. And then I just run my hands through my hair while holding on to that intention that I'm removing that negative, unwanted, and stagnant energy from the strands of my hair. Now, another thing that I really like to do to kind of stimulate the life force in my hair follicles is to give myself a scalp massage every day. So all I do to do that is a very quick thing to do. I just use my fingertips and I massage in little circles in each direction, basically like all over my scalp. Just use your fingertips, apply some pressure, and then just move your fingertips in little circles. And something like this exercise is really stimulating to the follicles of my hair. Like even right now, I'm getting that feeling of goosebumps or chills up my spine simply because I'm massaging my scalp. Well, that about wraps it up for this video. So if you like this video, be sure to click that like button and share this video with all your friends out there. And of course, if you're a viewer but not yet a subscriber, I am inviting you now to click subscribe down below. And once you have subscribed, you can turn on the notifications bell if you would like to be notified each and every time I upload a new video. Thank you guys so much for watching and spending your time with me. I love you, and I'll see you next time. Bye.